Hi friends, welcome to eLearn Civilians. Myself Krishnendu Shivadas. So today we'll be starting our new course Principles of Management, and this is for 6th semester civil engineering students. And in today's session we'll be discussing the first module. Alright, so let's begin today's session. So here is the syllabus for the first module and introduction to management, definitions, managerial roles and functions, science or art perspective, external environment, global, innovative and entrepreneurial perspectives of management, managing people and organizations in the context of new era, managing for competitive advantage, challenges of management. So this is the syllabus in brief for the first module, and we can divide this first module syllabus into three, and so we will have 3 to 4 sessions to complete this first module. Okay, so at first module 1, introduction to management, definition, roles, functions. So we'll see, so this is what today we are going to discuss. We'll see what management is, what are the definitions given by people all over the world or researchers. Okay, then the roles and functions of a manager. So a manager is someone who is responsible to a group of people. So what are the functions, what are the roles they play in a management? Okay, then science or a art perspective. So management, is it a science or is it an art? Okay, so we'll be discussing all those things in our first module and in today's session. Okay, so let's begin. So at first let's discuss the definitions of management. So what is management? Management is the process of designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplish selected aims. So management consists of a group of people, and this group of people will work towards a selective goal or an aim. Okay, and this aim, so everybody is working towards achieving that particular aim, and for in order to achieve that particular aim, an environment, okay, so it should a good environment shall be maintained. So this is what management is. Clear? Again, Harold Kuhn, so different researchers have given the definitions for management. So according to Harold Kuhn's, management is an art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. It is an art of creating an environment in which people can perform and individuals can cooperate towards attainment of group goals. Okay, so according to Harold Kuhn's, what is management? It is an art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. That means there will be a formal, well organized groups, not just some group of people, but these group of people will be well organized. That means we will divide these group of people into different subgroups, okay, or subdivisions, and they will be given task. They will be given different, they will be assigned task, so that they all work together to achieve that particular goal. Clear? So for that, for getting things done, what is required? An environment is required. Okay, so they should have a good environment so that they can perform efficiently. So that is what Harold Kuhn's defined management. Then next definition is given by Peter F. Drucker is, so management is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business and manages worker and work. So according to Drucker, what management is all about managing. So managing from business to managers to workers to that particular work. So management is about managing. Clear? And next, finally, the definitions as given by Henry Fayol is management. To manage is to forecast and to plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate and to control. Suppose if I am a manager, what I am supposed to do? I have to foresee things. Okay, I have to forecast. I have to think ahead and plan. So how I should get the things done. Okay, so I have to make a plan and I have to organize the people. So I have a group of people and I have to organize this group of people into different groups. Okay, I have to organize them, then I have to give commands, I have to give instructions, I have to direct them to do that particular task. So that is commanding. Then what? So there will be different groups, and but overall there should be a coordination between all these groups, subgroups or subdivisions, whatever. Clear? So there should be command, coordination, and to control, and finally I have to control all these group of individuals. Clear? So this is what a manager does, and this is what managing means. So according to Henry Fire. Clear? So next, what is an organization? So we know what is an organization or a company. Okay, so what is that? So it is an arrangement of people. So you can see in a company or an organization there will be a group of people. Okay, and that consists of, and what the organization will consist of, a board of directors, chief executive or managing director, and so many head. Okay, so there will be, these people will be headed by like board of directors, chief executive or managing directors, and what this, they will be having a distinct goal. So there will be a specific goal, and there will be a group of people, and they will have a deliberate structure. Deliberate structure means they will have a well organized structure. Clear? That is, they will maintain an hierarchy. So that, and then what is this goal? Okay, so we have already been saying like they will be having a specified goal. So what is this goal? The goal is, for any business organization, that goal will be a profit. Okay, suppose if we are doing any business, what will be our goal? Okay, what we have to get out of it, we have to get profit. So profit will be our goal in case of business organizations. And for non-profit organizations, okay, like charitable trust and all, what will be their selective goal? So their goal will be the satisfaction of, they have to serve people, so they have to serve, so their service will be their service feedback, that will be their goal. Clear? So that is a goal. There can be a profit for business organization, and for a charity they will their service, that will be their goal. Next is the levels of management. So we can divide the management into different levels, so that each level, okay, we can completely divide them into separate groups. So that is the different levels. So top level, middle level, and lower level. So top level management will have the board of directors, that is the topmost position, peoples in the topmost position. Okay, like board of directors, managing director, general manager. And middle level management will have the branch manager, production manager, marketing, finance, personnel. So all these departmental managers. And lower management will have foremen, superintendent, and supervisors. Clear? So let's see each of these in detail. First is top level management. So they consist of board of directors, chief executive, managing director, and they will have the ultimate source of authority. So they will be having the most authority in the organizations. Okay, they are the topmost authority. They manages goals and policies, so the company policies and organizational goals. So this will be put forth by whom? By the top level management. Then they devote more time. So they are having, which is their function? What is their function? That is planning and coordinating. So they have to plan, they have to make the overall plan for the organization, as well as they have to coordinate the different departments within that organization. Then they appoint executive for the middle level. So we have seen the middle level managers like finance managers, personnel managers. Okay, so likewise branch managers, etc. So these managers, these middle level managers will be appointed by the top level managers, and they are supposed to issue necessary instructions. Okay, so they have to give the instructions on the procedures, schedules, everything. Then they have the controlling and coordinating function. Then they are responsible for maintaining contact with the outside world. So what is happening outside, and okay, how that is impacting the organization. So all these things will be looked after by the top level manager. Clear? So the keep in contact with the outside world. Then they will be held responsible towards shareholders. Okay, shareholders or the owners. So who will be held responsible? This top level managers. Clear? Next is the middle level managers. So they are the second level of managers, that is the middle level, and they will have a branch managers and departmental managers. Then they are held responsible to the top management. Okay, so they will be headed by whom? The top level managers, and they have to execute the plan in accordance with the policies and directives of the top managements. So the organization will have different departments, and the head of each department will be whom this middle level managers. So they have to plan what all things should happen. Okay, so they have to make the plans for their respective departments. Clear? Then they have to participate in employment and training of lower level managers. So there will be lower level managers working under this middle level managers, so they have to give them the adequate or required training. Clear? Then they are responsible for coordinating the activities. So for within the department, all the coordination shall be done by whom? The middle level managers. Then they have to interpret, explain the policies. So they have to communicate, right? They have to interpret and explain policies means what? They have to communicate the things from the top level management to the lower level management. So they will act like a link. Okay, so connecting whom? The top level and lower level managements. Then they send important data and reports to the top level management. So they are held responsible for each department. So their departmental works, okay, what all things are happening in their respective department. So that data and the reports should be given on a monthly basis or likewise to the top level managers. Clear? Then they have to evaluate the performance. So they have to rate their lower level managers. Okay, how they have to evaluate their performance. Then they are responsible for, so they have to inspire the lower level they have to motivate the lower level managers. Clear? So these are the functions of the middle level managers. Again, coming to the lower level managers, so they are whom? The supervisory or the operative level of management. So it consists of supervisors, foremen, section officers, superintendent. So under each department there will be works. Okay, so so there will be workers, and these workers will be supervised by a group of people, and they are known as what? Low level managers. So each supervisor will have a group of workers, and they have to supervise. Okay, they have to assign the task to be completed on a daily or a weekly basis. Clear? So they are concerned with direction and controlling and assigning jobs and tasks to the workers. So they guide and instruct. They have to supervise the workers. They have to guide and instruct the workers. Then they are responsible for the quality and the quantity. So they are seeing the work. Okay, so they are directly involved in the work. They are directly supervising the work. So they have to see the quality and quantity of the work. Clear? Then they are entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining good relations. So they have to behave properly with their top level managers. So they have to maintain a good relation with them. Then they have to communicate workers' problems, suggestions and recommendatory appeals to higher level goals and objectives to the workers. So they will stand like a link between the upper levels and the workers. That means they have to communicate all the workers, all the problems faced by the workers, okay, their working environment, their suggestions. So these all shall be communicated to the upper levels, and the upper level policies or their plans, okay, so that shall be communicated to the workers. So they will act as a link. Clear? Then they help to solve the grievances of workers. If any problems arise, then they will help them to solve these problems. Okay, like if there is any wage problems or their life, okay, their environment, if they cannot work if they are having a poor environment and all, they can they can communicate it to their supervisors, and their supervisors will help them solve their problems. Then they supervise and guide. They are responsible for providing training, so they will provide training, and they have to see whether the materials, machines, tools, etc. are available in there for their working. So they have to see whether the things necessary equipments are there. Okay, then they have to prepare reports about the performance of the workers, and they have to ensure discipline, and they have to motivate workers. So these are the functions of the low level managers. So we have seen all the three levels: top level, middle level and lower level management. So moving on to the next topic, that is functions of management. Okay, so what are the functions of management? There are mainly 5 functions. That is, one is planning, organizing, staffing, influencing or directing and controlling. So that likewise there are 5 functions. So first function, moving over to the first function, that is planning. So according to Kuhn, so what is planning? So planning is deciding in advance what to do, when to do, and how to do. It bridges the gap from where we are and where we want to be. So according to Kuhn, what is planning? Planning means we have to plan things. Okay, so we have to plan what is to be done and when it is to be done, when is it to be completed, or that specific period. Okay, then how shall we do that? How shall we approach to complete that particular task? Okay, so this is what planning is all about. So it is a basic function of management, and it deals with chalking out a future course of action and deciding in advance the most appropriate course of action for achievement of predetermined goals. So we already have a goal and we have to achieve. In order to achieve that goal, we have to make a better plan. So we have to foresee things, what are the future consequences, so what are from the present things. Okay, so like that current scenario, what is the current scenario, what is the future perspective. So from all this, one have to see and make a suitable plan. Clear? So a plan is a future course of action. It is an exercise in problem solving and decision making. So 2 things we have supposed to do. One is problem solving and decision making. Okay, if there is any problems for the functioning, then that have to be solved. So for that, what problem solving and decision making, there should be a good plan. It is the determination of course of action to achieve desired goals. So it is a systematic thinking about ways and means for accomplishment of systematic and predetermined goals. Okay, so everything is similar itself. Okay, so it is necessary to ensure proper utilization of human and non-human resources. It is an intellectual activity and also helps in avoiding confusion, uncertainties, risk, wastages, etc. So if we are planning it well, means what? We can reduce the wastages. Right, if we have a plan, means we will foresee things. Okay, we need this much workers for completing that particular task, or we need this many equipments for completing that particular task. So if we have predetermined all these things earlier, then what? Then our working will be smooth. Okay, we will never get run out of things, or we will never have any wastages. Clear? So this is what planning is all about. Next is organizing. Again, organizing means what? We have to make a deliberate structure. We have to make a good structure, well organized structure, systematic and an organized structure for the organization, for getting the things done. So it is the process of bringing together the physical, financial and human resources and developing productive relationship among them for the achievement of organizational goals. So we have to bring together the physical, financial, human resource, and okay, we have to make them productive. So physical, financial, human resource. Physical means what? All the materials, all the resources shall be there. Okay, then financial means the monetaries. Okay, the funding shall be there. Then human resources, that is the workers as well as the managers, all these belong to what? Human resources. Okay, so there should be all these things, and they should work productively. And to organize a business involves determining and providing human and non-human resources to the organizational structure. So there should be human and non-human resources, as already mentioned. So according to Henry Fayol, to organize a business is to provide it with everything useful for its functioning. That is, raw material, tools, capital and personals. Okay, so organizing means what? Everything should be there. We should never get run out of things. So there should be everything. There should be enough resources. Okay, there should be sufficient workers to do the task. There should be sufficient capital. We should have a sufficient necessary amount to do the task. Then there should be sufficient equipment. So all these things should be there. Okay, only then it will it can be called as organized. So it involves identification of activities. So these are the different stages involved in organizing. That is, we have to identify what are the tasks. Okay, so we have to identify the different activities. We have to group these activities, and each groups we have to assign the duties. Okay, what is to be done, and then we have to give responsibilities. Then and we have to give authority and responsibility, and finally coordinate. There should be coordination between and within the different groups. Clear? Next is staffing. Staffing means what? Manning. Okay, manning means what? We should have the people. So organization means what? It is a group of people. So all these people shall be there. Okay, human resources shall be there. That is what staffing is. So staffing has an assumed greater importance recent years due to the advancement of technology, increase in size of business, complexity of human behavior, etc. So staffing means what? Recruiting. Okay, we are recruiting the personnel for our company or an organization. Then what we have to see? It is very important because we need more skilled people, right? We need skilled workers or skilled uh, people so that we can they will know the latest advancements. Okay, what are the advanced technologies? So they will have an idea of that, so they can work smoothly. Then complexity of human behavior to increasing the size. So because of all this, staffing is now has become an important in recent years. The main purpose is to put right man on the right place. Okay, so we need that right man on that right place. Clear? So according to Gunz and O'Donnell, managerial function of staffing involves manning the organization structure through proper and effective selection, appraisal, and development of personnel to fill the roles designed in the structure. Okay, so there shall be an effective selection. So the correct, we have to do the interview and select the right person for that right position. Clear? That is what staffing is. So it involves manpower planning. So they have to then like how many, okay, so how many people are required, how many employees are required for that particular work. So that one, manpower planning. Then recruitment, selection and placement, training and development. We have to recruit them and okay, through interviews or like placements, and after that what we have to give proper training so that they are made capable to work in our okay, so they will get what they will get used to the works in happening in our organization. So for that they need training. Then remuneration, so they need the better incentives like salaries and all. Then performance appraisal. Okay, so as their performance we can give their incentives. Then promotions and transfer. Clear? Then next is directing. Fourth is directing means what? Giving the directions or instructions to employees. Okay, so leadership qualities. So for directing, what is required? Leadership qualities. The person should be a good leader. Then motivating, they should motivate the employees, communicate with them. Okay, so there should be a there should not be any communication gap so that they don't communicate things often. Okay, so they should be communicating at regular intervals, like they should held. Okay, so meetings shall be held and they have to discuss their work, okay, their status of their work and all. Clear? Then it is that part of managerial function which actuate the organizational methods to work efficiently for achievement of organizational purpose. Okay, so we have to direct that method. So this is that method, so we have to do it accordingly, only then we can finish that work. So all this thing is done through directing. Then it is considered as the life spark of the enterprise, which it set in motion the action of people because of planning, organizing, staffing, or preparation. So this is what directing means. What it is actually the executive part, right? We are executing something, so that is the executing part, implementing part. So the remaining like planning, organizing, and staffing are only preparatory measures, but the actual thing, okay, we have to, if we have to get a particular task done, then what we have to direct them. So direction is the interpersonal aspect of management which deals with directly with influencing, guiding, supervising, motivating subordinate for the achievement of organizational goals. Again, direction has the following elements like supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. Okay, so supervision means what? Supervision means they have to oversee things. Okay, and the subordinates are supervised there by their supervisors, superiors. Then motivation, inspiring, leadership and communication. Clear? Then finally controlling. Controlling means what? They have to see whether their goal and their work is going hand in hand. Okay, if that is not happening means what? Corrective measures have to be implemented. So if a problem arises, try to find out the reasons for the deviation. Suggesting corrective measures, okay, will be helpful, and implies management accomplishment against the standards and correction of deviation. Okay, so what up to what measurement has to take on? Okay, what corrective measurement has to be deployed, sorry, have to be employed. Okay, then the purpose of controlling is to ensure that everything occurs in conformities with the standards. Okay, so what is our goal? So and our goal and our task, okay, or our the profit, what we are getting out of the task, that shall be the in conformity with the goal. Clear? An efficient system helps to predict the deviations before they actually occur. So so for that we need to know, okay, so to get a better control, we should have a better controlling system. So this is what control. So definitions as given by Heyman is: controlling is the process of checking whether or not proper progress is being made towards the objectives and goals, and acting if necessary to correct any deviation. So they have to see whether any problems is there, okay, for achieving that particular goal, and if whatever problem arises, what they have to see any proper correction can be given for that deviation. So that is what controlling is. So according to Kuntz and O'Donnell, controlling is the measurement of and correction of performance activities of the subordinate in order to make sure that the enterprise objectives and plans desired to obtain them as being accomplished. So a company will have a company goal, right? So this organizational goal shall be met at the end, okay, towards the end that shall be met. So that for that, what we need to evaluate the performance of the company, and that performance of the company shall be in accordance with the company goal. If that two, if both are matching, means what? Okay, the company is going in a smoother manner. If not, what all corrective measures can be taken, so that shall be done. So controlling is what, in simple words, we can say that controlling is a method to find out the error. Okay, so what are the error or discrepancies happening in, or deviations happening in the performance, and in order to improve the performance, what are the corrective measures we can do? That is what controlling is. And it has the following steps, that is, we have to establish a standard performance. Okay, so we have to give like okay, we have to achieve this much. So suppose we have to put a target, okay, so we have to achieve this much for the company at the end of this month. So that is our standard performance. And then what, we have to measure the actual performance. So we have to measure the actual performance of the company as a whole, and we have to see what is the deviation from the actual and the standard. Okay, so comparison of actual with the standard, and we have to find out the deviation. And since if there is any deviation, what we have to give the corrective measure for the same, and correct it in the next. Okay, so for the next month we can correct it, and we can improve the performance. Clear? So this is what controlling is. So hope all the 5 functions are clear to you. So first is planning. Okay, so planning, then organizing and staffing. So these are what, they are the preparatory measures. Okay, they are the first steps, and then comes the controlling, directing and controlling part. So in directing part, we will be actually executing or implementing the plan. Okay, and in the controlling part, we will see whether we can give any corrective measures so as to improve the performance. Clear? So these are the functions of management. So we are winding up today's session, and tomorrow we'll continue with the roles of managers, and then management as a science or art perspectives. Okay, so these 2 topics shall be discussed in tomorrow's classes. So I hope this much part is clear. So from this much part, so we have completed the definitions of management, we have seen the levels of management, and the functions of management. So these 3 parts are important questions or university in your previous university papers. All these 3 questions, that is, what is management, what are the different levels of management, and what are the functions of management. All these 3 questions are very important from your examination point of view. So please go through